When you look at me, what kind of music do you think I listen to? Travis Scott, Kanye West, Deftones, Foo Fighters? I listen to Deftones and a little bit of Travis Scott here and there, but what if I told you I listened to this? I listened to the GOAT himself, Ryosuke Kiyasu, where he takes a snare drum and he takes his bridled emotions and a couple of drumsticks and moans into the microphone. And you see the girl in the back with the silver hair and the black beanie. I really resonate with her. You know, this music really, I can feel the beats per minute affecting my heart rate. And I'm still hoping this guy does parties. I really do because man, my nephew he just turned 1.5. I was hoping if Ryosuke Kiyasu here from the Philippines could come do a birthday party for me, maybe even a wedding. I don't know. I'm not the kind of person to take a crap on what other people enjoy, but there's no way people actually enjoy this. And I've said this plenty of times, not on this channel yet, but I listen to a lot of different music. I'm Mr. Worldwide. I don't listen to him, but I'm Mr. Worldwide in the fact that I listen to classical music. I listen to stuff like Deftones, stuff like Dreamhouse. I listen to Kanye West. I listen to a lot of different rap. I listen to a lot of different artists that aren't English. And I can say I've heard some pretty horrendous songs, Penelope Scott, but that doesn't really compare to this because what is this? Is this music? Because this guy's not the most popular TikTok person, but he does kind of have, I wouldn't say a following, but he has an audience on TikTok. And most of his videos, you can see at least one goober in the back going, like, what are you bouncing along with the voices in your head? What are you talking about? My calculations estimate that there are no rhythmic beats. Rhythmic. I don't even know what this is. This isn't even a beat. It's just a person letting go of his lifelong emotions onto a snare drum with a microphone attached into the back of his throat. Because you can hear this guy moan. You can hear him breathe. It's awkward. It's really awkward. And the more I watch the video, the more I think that this guy is just clinically insane. I don't mean to I don't mean to assume anything, Mr. Dr. Kiyasu, but he takes his drum, his snare drum, and he deactivates the snare part. If you don't know how a snare drum works, it essentially is a drum, right? You have two drumsticks and the drum, and there are a few aluminum wires on the bottom that there's a switch on the side of the drum. You can activate and deactivate them. And essentially it takes the strings, and I'm going to put my mic down for a second. This is the drum. These are the strings, right? You turn the switch and the strings go boop. They they detach from the drum itself. And this is what this guy's doing, I think, because if he had the strings attached to the actual drum, like if the strings were making contact, my ears would be black holes right now. They would be so far gone, I wouldn't even be able to hear anything. So what I think he's doing is he's taking the hollow end of the snare drum without the strings, putting the microphone under the drum, and just and then occasionally he'll like let his long black hair fall onto the drum and it'll make a weird like swish noise. And then he takes both of his drumsticks and just goes. It's really, really awkward, and this isn't music. It figuratively and literally is not music, because how can you have just this, you could say, oh, like a drum solo is music, like a snare drum player could do a drum solo. Absolutely, that is music, but that has rhythm, that has skill. This is just a guy deloading his emotions. This is just a guy who popped one too many Percocet 30s and is just going wild on the drum set. And it makes me wonder how people actually enjoy this, because believe it or not, there are actual bands and actual songs that sound pretty similar to this, and I don't understand. All right, I cut the video off to take a further look into this guy's profile, and oh boy, there are some occasional times where you're like, oh, okay, this guy actually has talent. And I think he does. I think he knows what he's doing somewhat. I think he has some rhythm. But there's a video not too far down his profile, his TikTok profile, that I think I'll show you in a minute, where he is on the floor, and I think he genuinely is having a seizure. I don't know what this guy's doing. And you can see videos of him just using both of the drumsticks and his knee to make, I don't even know what he's trying to make. I don't know. And I don't mean to make this entire video about one dude who's gone too far off the deep end here. He's hit rock bottom and he's not moving up. I don't mean to make this entire video about one guy, but the purpose of this video is to just kind of question why, because I listen to a lot of Deftones. Deftones is by far my favorite band. Well, not All right, not my favorite band. My favorite band is Loathe, but I listen to a lot of that kind of music, shoegaze, some of that kind of stuff. And a lot of people ask me how I enjoy it. And I kind of look at them, I'm like, really, what kind of music do you listen to? And more times than not, they give me one of two things. One, country. You know who you are, country's gross. Two, they give me the most underground, most disgusting sounding worst snippet I've ever heard of all time. Who is Black Boy Max? I genuinely don't know or don't care about these people. I don't who and I can only look at them. I wonder if they listen to stuff like this. If they wake up every single day looking forward to their ears bleeding from their skull. I don't understand. I get it if I tell you, hey man, I listen to Deftones, that's great. And then you tell me, yeah, Deftones isn't really my style. Like, that's fine. I mean, millions of people would disagree with you because Deftones is awesome, but that's fine. You can have your own style. I don't care. And after all that, I listen to some pretty obscure stuff as well. You ever heard of Dreamhouse? That's pretty obscure, right? It's kind of niche. I'm cool, right? Now, if you came up to me on the street and said, hey, dude, I listen to this kind of stuff, and I'm like, all right, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you based on what you enjoy. I'm not judging anyone here. I'm just asking why. I've said the word why maybe 13 million times in this video. I'm not going to judge you, right? You can enjoy whatever you want. I don't care. As long as you don't enforce it on me, as long as you don't harm me or the people I love and care about, you can do whatever you want. As long as you don't show up to my window at 4 a.m. doing this stuff that Mr. Ryosuke Kiyasu is doing, moaning in my ear with a snare drum and 2 drumsticks and his kneecap playing some demonic ritual. If you're trying to summon Satan outside my door, we're gonna have an issue. All right, quick intermission here. I'm also scrolling through this guy's profile a little bit more, and he's been a drummer that has toured 58 countries since 2003. That's actually pretty admirable. I mean, hey, listen, if I was a musician, I toured 58 countries since 2003. I've been doing this for 21 years. I'd have some semblance of what I'm doing, what I'm after, what my target audience is, what my niche is. Another intermission for the intermission here. I was just doing a deep dive down the rabbit hole of Ryosuke Kiyasu's TikTok profile. I couldn't find a single video where this guy wasn't cracking off the ecstasy. I couldn't find a single video where this guy wasn't off a ripper doing drugs, just taking his snare drum and just like humping it, just taking his snare drum and just shoving his microphone, shoving. All right, let's. I couldn't find a single video of this guy doing something normal. I think he's too far gone. I think he needs a little bit of this, if you know what I'm talking about. But regardless, if you enjoy that kind of stuff, whatever. Hope your ears are doing fine. I hope your next doctor's appointment goes well because your personal doctor is going to be a little bit intrigued as to how your eardrums look like that, because mine certainly are bleeding. I hear ringing in my ears. I have tinnitus pretty bad right now. But regardless, and especially if you listen to this kind of music, stay safe.